Hi everybody, it's Sean Murphy and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be looking at another great practice routine, the tee. So as I said guys, this practice routine is called the tee for obvious reasons. And together with the lineup, which you can find on the channel as well, there's a great video about the lineup practice routine. And if you haven't watched that, it's really worth going back through that and studying that video. That's going to really help you learn about which reds to play in which order and keeping control of that cue ball. Together with that routine, this makes up the majority of my practice, I have to say. Now, of course, I do lots of different routines, practicing lots of different things, but the vast majority of my time is spent in here practicing the lineup and the tee, because you know it's very realistic, this practice routine. It puts the reds in positions where you know they spend a lot of time in matches. These type of shots into corners on and off the cushions are very, very common shots. Taking the reds in any order also happens all the time. Now, you can make this practice routine as difficult as you want. A bit like the lineup, it's very versatile. You can take the reds in an order across the table and continue over here until you take them and finish with the one by the black. You can take them all using blacks, you can use pinks, you can use blues. I like to do this one, a bit of both, a bit of variation, but I like coming in the room actually and just setting it up, sometimes actually using it as a bit of a warm-up routine where you can just pop the reds in any order you want, use any colours you want, but actually what you're practicing is up here. You're practicing that concentration. As a professional player, I know that I should do this routine and I should clear it up pretty much every single time unless something mad happens. So that ability to focus and make yourself do something that you know you should do is what this is all about. So that's enough talking about it. Let's get on and get the action going. Simple pot red to start, on and off the cushion for the pink. And we're away. The only rule I have with these practice routines is that I don't like nudging into other reds. I like to keep that cue ball clean. So staying away from cannoning into other balls is vital. And it's very realistic what's happening here. You're playing into this kind of middle of the table area for multiple choices of reds. And of course it does get more difficult the further you go. I'm going to play the red second in from the left side of the table here, on and off the cushion again for the pink. And the fewer reds that are left on the table, the harder it gets, because then you have to start playing for specific balls. But this is very much like what happens at the start of a frame, where as long as you keep potting those balls, you stay at the table, you're in a position where you're on one of maybe two, maybe three reds at a time. This is all going nicely. Simple little stun shot for the pink, keeping close control of that cue ball. This is something where somebody like a Ding Junhui would be extremely good because he keeps such good control of that ball. It's never travelling too far. Bit of a stretch this one. Nice little stun shot just for the red underneath the pink. And you can see I'm not focusing here on which order I'm taking the reds in. I don't mind which order they go in. What I'm practicing is these are all simple shots. These are all shots I should get. So I'm making myself get them. I'll play a screw shot here for the pink into the same pocket as this red. Trying to stay close, or as close as I can to the pink. That's gone a little far. I'm going to use the cushion this time and retain position on a choice of reds. Again, not really playing for a specific ball. There are times when that's important, and as you can see now there's only two reds left on that side. So now when playing for those, I have to play for one of them. Take the one nearest the pink. I've just put a bit too much spin on that. You can see that cue ball have fizzed up the table. This is a brand new cloth. These are brand new balls, so you get maximum spin. Now, I've got to play this pink with the rest, which shouldn't be a problem. On and off the cushion for choices. Nicely played. even if I say so myself. And now we're into these reds by the black. And this isn't a pink only exercise. I don't mind what colour I take. So a little screw shot for the black. And now we're back in perfect position. Little stun shot, glide past this red. Again, don't really want any cannons. It's all about learning to control that cue ball. Now we've got to bridge over these reds a little bit. Shouldn't be any problem. For the black again. Keeping nice control. Didn't want to be straight. So now I'm going to pop the black and send the cue ball up through this gap between that red separated and these two. And then as long as I come past here, I could be on, well, I could be on 6 or 7 reds here after this shot. Anywhere up there. And I'm on all the reds. Now, little tip for you now, and this goes back, I was taught this by the 1984 World Billiards Champion, Mark Wildman, who owned the club where I grew up playing, and he always taught me, if you can get rid of reds that are nearest to the cushions and try to make the break easier as you go on, you've got a much better chance of making a big as break as possible. So whilst I could now play this red or this red, I'm going to take this one because this now is one of the hardest reds left. Other than this red over here, maybe these two, this red is actually the most difficult left on the table. So I'm going to take it now. On and off for the pink. And we're away. Now that didn't look anything, did it? That didn't look, you know, a complicated decision at all. But hopefully that decision of taking that red now will pay dividends in a few minutes' time. Nice little soft screw on the pink again. Not really playing for any of these reds in particular. And you'll notice, you know, we're pretty much halfway through this clearance now. We've not been in trouble yet. We've not been out of position. This time I've got to use the rest because I can't reach this red. So a nice little screw shot. But this time I've got to be careful because if you imagine a line between the pink and this middle pocket, if this cue ball screws back too much, what we would class as high on the pink, the next shot in potting the pink, the cue ball will be crashing into this red, and I don't want that. So in potting this red, I can finish anywhere from here to here and be comfortable on the next shot. So this is just a tiny little screw shot. I don't want too much spin. And that's why I concentrated on just making sure that cue ball didn't fizz back. That was all about thinking about the next shot. Now, nice little soft screw shot on this pink again for one of 3 or 4 reds. Didn't play on a specific red, played into this area where I knew I would be on one of these reds. And again, I've always got that thought in the back of my mind of not going too far past this line. I don't want to pot this red and come up here because then that's going to make it complicated. So this is more of a stun shot than a screw shot. Wanted that cue ball to go sideways rather than backwards. So that was more of a stun. And again, we're 10 reds into this break now. We're still in perfect position. Screw the cue ball back to where we are now. And this break's starting to look good. In a match now, you'd be very, very close to the line, if not over the line. And now you can start thinking about making as big a break as possible. Another little soft screw shot. Perfectly on the pink. And now in terms of break building, back to what I was saying about what my old coach Mark Wildman used to say when I was a child, you start identifying where the difficult reds are. Now, if this red were actually on the cushion, it would be much more difficult. But currently in this situation, it's not that hard, but it is the hardest red still left. So you might be thinking about, well, when can I get that out? I can now pop the pink and screw back here. I can play for both of these reds now. And if I overrun it for this red, I'll be on this red. So I'm kind of, in my mind's eye, I'm playing for this kind of area. I'd love to take this red by the cushion out as soon as I can. Now, if truth be told, I'm not really on it. It's much more difficult from there, so I'm going to play the red with the rest. I'm trying to clear the table at the end of the day. And I'm just going to pop this red and screw back for the pink into the same pocket. Nicely done. Just slightly off straight, I can pop this pink and force stun the cue ball for the choice of reds into the same pocket as the pink. And this break's now starting to look like a biggie. Just move some reds from those corner pockets. But I'm definitely thinking about my route. I'd really like to leave one of these reds. It's going to have to be this one. I'm going to play this red next. I'd really like to leave that one till last. So I'm going to pop the red for the black. And now I've got perfect position on the black. Again, trying to make it the break as easy as I can. That means taking this red out next. I can leave it till last, but why wait? Now I can pop the black into the corner, place the cue ball on the cushion, bounce it up through the gap of these reds. Got to play this with a little bit of right hand side, just to straighten that cue ball up through this gap here. And in my mind, I'm playing for this red, and if I overrun the position, I'll be on this red to the corner. Most important thing though, pop the black. There you see it's gone through the gap nicely. And I am on both reds. Now, I'm not on either red perfectly, it has to be said. So, let me have a look at the other red to the side. That wasn't a great shot. Yeah, I'm actually going to play this red. I'm going to just drop this red in plain ball, no side spin. Cue ball just naturally bounce back over here for the pink into the same pocket. But this is the hardest red on the table. But it's in. And now that that's gone, we're set fair. For the clearance, drop the pink in for the last red. And if you were trying to make a 1-4-7, obviously you'd pop the red and hold for the black. In terms of trying to make the clearance is much easier when potting the last red if you play the cue ball up here, because then from up here it has less mileage to get to the yellow. So I'm going to pop this red, and anywhere up this end of the table, I don't mind what colour I play next. Don't mind if it's blue. I don't mind if it's yellow again. There you see. It's gone too far up the table to pot the blue and retain position for the yellow. So now I'm going to play two yellows. This is much easier than potting the black and playing for the yellow again. Little screw shot. And that's perfectly on the yellow. Don't forget to get the yellow out. I've seen that happen before with the referees. And now, as we've done thousands and thousands of times, it's just a simple colour clearance with the colours on their spots. The frame's well in the bag, the century's well in the bag. Simple plain ball on the green, on and off the cushion for the brown. And this is where the clearance can go wrong. Nice stun shot on the brown, on and off the cushion, making sure to stay high on the blue. And that's about perfect. From there I can just drop the blue in for the pink. Just literally drop it in dead weight. Once you get the brown to blue right, the clearance is pretty much inevitable. Drop the pink in for the black. And as somebody who doesn't really like tea, I'm much more of a coffee drinker, this has been a good practice routine. And that is that. Great practice routine, the T, one of my absolute favourites. Together with the lineup, that practice routine won't see you far wrong at all. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Get stuck into the comments below. Let me know what your favourite practice routine is. Let me know what your biggest break is. If you don't already subscribe to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe and turn those notifications on to make sure you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you next time.